Hello. Howdy. So, I'm going live now because I got 3 miles to go. So, I'm not even going to get to the campsite until like 8 o'clock tonight. So, I figured I'd do my recap while I'm walking. I'm chafed bad. I'm chafed so bad I'm probably not walking tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. So while I was walking about an hour ago, I got a phone call from Chattanooga Channel 9. They came out and did an interview with me on the side of the road. And as soon as I was done with Channel 9, started walking down the road, not even a quarter mile, Channel 3 pulled up and wanted to do an interview. So that's pretty cool. There's one more station that I may do an interview with tomorrow at some point. So we'll just have to see. This is going to be an 18-mile or closer to 19-mile day when I'm done with it. It's really hot and humid today. I think it was in 90, 91, something like that today. My voice hurts. Like I said, I'm chapped. Probably not walking tomorrow. Other than the 2 interviews, nothing real special happened today. I'm really tired. Molly got really hot. Like super hot today. I was really worried about her. I ended up crossing over a creek on a little bridge and felt the best thing to do was to toss her in, so I threw her in the water, and then I couldn't get her out of the water. She played in there for like 20 or 30 minutes. It was pretty funny. And then once I got her out, she came up and sat down next to me, and we just sat there and chilled out for a good while until she stopped panting real hard. And then we got up and started walking again. Stopped by a grocery store, got some tuna and muffins and some more powder for the butt. Got to powder the butt. Got some diaper rash cream because I have diaper rash. I know it's probably TMI, but hey, it's part of what I'm doing, so you're going to hear about it. Phone's down to about 20%, so if this campsite doesn't have electricity, you might not hear from me until tomorrow, once the sun comes up and starts charging stuff. It's charging now, but it's cloudy now, thank goodness. But I still got the umbrella up because it still helps. I bought a can of white spray paint today. And the part of the umbrella, I thought the one can would cover the whole thing, but it only covered about half of it, not even quite half. But the part I spray painted is much cooler. If I put my hand up to it, it's much cooler. That radiant heat coming down off of there just isn't there compared to the side that doesn't have the spray paint. So I've had the umbrella. I just face that white side toward the sun. Works pretty good. It's like walking in the shade all day. It's better than not having it, I guess. It's hot. It's real hot. I don't like it. I don't like the hot. It's better than the cold. I hate the cold. Molly's done. I'll just have to see how it goes this next week or so until Cody gets up here and my mom. But at this point, at this point, I'm starting to feel guilty. Today was just miserable for her, and it only got to 90. You know, there's going to be days I'm walking this year during the summer that's going to be easily over 100 degrees, and it's hard to keep her in the shade of the shadow or of the umbrella. And even then, she's still panting like crazy. And I don't dare shave her because then she'll get sunburn. She's a short hair anyway. But unfortunately, well, fortunately for her and unfortunately for me, it looks like I'm probably going to send her home with my dad once I meet my mom and dad in Nashville. It's just going to be too hot. It's going to be way too hot for her. And that's cruelty at that point, you know. The heat from the asphalt today, just today alone, with it being 90 degrees, the heat from the asphalt, I could feel it radiating up off the ground on the underside of my arms and on my legs. It was almost more intense than coming down off the sun itself. And I can't do that to her. So I think I've pretty much decided. We'll just have to see, but it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right making her walk in this heat. And I can't take as many breaks as I need to take for her and stay on schedule and make it to my campsites. Because she is my first priority. I think I'll be able to move faster, definitely be able to carry less gear. Like I said, we'll just have to see. Yeah, it's not so much being a great doggy daddy. I'm just, you know, I feel for, I feel the pain, you know, and I have the choice. She doesn't have a choice right now. And on these hot days, it's not fun for her. It's even gotten to the point to where I know her feet are hurting, like mine, because she'll take a break and lay down and spend, you know, 10 or 15 minutes just licking her paws. And I check them every day, and there's no cuts, and they're not raw or anything like that. I think they just hurt from walking, you know, like mine hurt from walking. And I just don't want to do that to her anymore. So she's either gonna go home with Cody whenever Cody comes up and leaves, or she's gonna go home with Dad when Dad brings Mom to Nashville. Because even if I put her boots on, I mean, those boots will protect her pads, but they're not comfortable. They're real rigid, hard plastic boots. You know, there's no extra padding there. They're just rubber and plastic. I can get in this zone to where I just push on, you know, regardless of chafing or blisters or anything, to where I can just keep pushing. I can keep going. But then I look down at her, and her head's hung low, and her tongue's sticking out of her mouth like 1.5 feet. And I feel real bad. I don't know how other people have walked all the way across the U.S. with their dog. Well, I do. They didn't do it on the roads like I am. They did it through trails. So for any of y'all that are just logging on, I had 2 news interviews today, back to back on the side of the road. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to check my GPS real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, see, I'm back. It got me all excited. It said I had to turn right in 0.02 miles. It doesn't want me to turn right. It just wants me to get over there on the other side of the road. Chico just asked me if I'm going through Murfreesboro. I think I am. I'll have to check that out. I don't know right now, right this second. I remember looking at it on the map, and you know, every time I pull the map out, I try 5 or 6 different roads and directions and zoom in and search for cool places and all that stuff. So I'm not sure if Murfreesboro ended up on one of my final routes or not. Yeah, it looks like I'm not going to walk tomorrow. Last time I was chafing this bad, I barely could walk the next day. So I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to go ahead and plan on not walking tomorrow and see how I feel when I wake up. Place I'm staying tonight is supposed to be gorgeous, but I won't have any idea because it's going to be dark when I get there. People have seen me out this far. I was at the gas station earlier today where I stopped for lunch, and the guy asked me if I was the guy. Are you the guy? said, yep, I'm the guy. No, the guy. Yeah, man, I'm the guy. The guy that's walking across America? Yeah, I'm the guy. I get the question enough every day to where I know what you're talking about. Some days it's hard to be nice to people, I'll tell you that much. Y'all that know me personally real well know I have no filter normally. I've had to develop a nice guy filter while on this walk. That's a big tire. I'm not turning. I'm not getting on that side of the road. I don't care what you say, you stupid GPS. I'm glad I wasn't standing here when this tire exploded. You'll probably see it behind me once I walk past it. I am beat. I am beat. Today was a rough day. It's just a rough day. It's so humid. It's not even the miles. My feet don't hurt that bad. It's just the humidity, the swamp ass sucks. I need an air conditioner. I've personally drank 2 gallons today. Me and Molly are working on number 4 total. She drank 1, I drank 2, and both of them are half empty now. Music. Well, the last time I played music and walked, my videos on YouTube got tagged for copyright infringement. So I can't do that unless I listen to the free music that YouTube says is okay. Equipment failure. Yeah, thanks, Mom, for answering questions for me. It's hard to walk and read on that phone at the same time. I was trying to find a tablet holder that I could put on there, but I mean, that's like a special order thing. I got to get online and order a tablet clip. If I could have my tablet here instead of my phone, then I could save battery on my phone, and I'd be able to read comments much easier. At least on this road, I mean, you can see behind me that I'm on a really nice wide shoulder, like 8 or 10 foot wide, so basically zero stress. Molly saw a rabbit a little while ago. That was pretty funny. Hey Roger, how's it going? I'm almost sure I'm going to have to upgrade my cart. Wheels are wobbling. Thanks for all the love, y'all. That's great. Keep it coming. Wheels are wobbling. The handlebars are starting to bend from so much weight when I push down on it to lift it to turn it. I mean, it's still got some life in it. I'm not going to kick it out right away, but if I can run across a bicycle trailer cart, I'll probably switch to that. Let's see if I can. Of course, somebody's off in the woods frickin' shooting a gun. And on the back roads that I was walking earlier, there was basically no breeze, no wind all day. Thankfully, out here on the road, at least the cars produce a little wind, you know. The two stations that interviewed me today were Chattanooga 9 and Chattanooga 3. I can't remember the letters, but if you Google it, I'm sure you can figure it out. Sorry, folks. Luckily, your view is high enough to where it won't look weird. But everybody up and down the road's about to catch a view that they probably don't want. I don't even care anymore. The 3 or 4 cars that see me with my hand down my pants. Probably think I'm just peeing anyway. Yeah, Channel 3 is the one with the peacock. Is that ABC or NBC? I don't know. But the letters that they have here, I guess they're a subsidiary or whatever it's called of that Peacock channel, Peacock station, whatever they're called. I never even saw the numbers for Channel 9. Come on, Molly. The lady just walked up to me when I was sitting out front of the store. I never saw her car or anything. And I didn't get cards from either one of them because I'm an idiot. But Channel 3, I think, said that the story will be online tonight. And I was too focused on the fire in my crotch area to ask any questions about when Channel 9 was going to be on. The good news is after this next weekend, all the pools will be open everywhere. So I'll start being able to go swimming at these campgrounds and hotels that I stop at. It's 3 NBC, but it was like WRK something TV.com. But yeah, they're owned by NBC, I think, which is awesome, or ABC or whoever it is, which is awesome because hopefully that story will get syndicated like the ABC one did. That'd be cool. But both of the interviews today weren't even done by reporters. They were done by the camera techs. They come out, they point the camera at me and ask me a bunch of questions, but it wasn't so that clip actually goes online. It was so that they could take that information and transfer it to paper or whatever so that the reporter could read it later. So don't expect to see me talking. I think there's some footage of Molly on both of them, and there's definitely footage of me walking. But, I mean, all press is good press. I just, like I said, don't expect, it's not like a sit-down, in-depth interview or anything. Yeah, WRCBTV.com is what it said on the side of the truck. If I could invent like a tube that I could run down the back of my pants with like a forked nozzle like that was just like placed, in just the right area and had like a moisture sensor, so that every once in a while when the powder would run out, it could just go poof and auto puff me every once in a while. That would be awesome. An auto baby powder machine. Again, I'll be right back. I gotta check my GPS. Don't go anywhere. Love you guys. Okay, I'm real close to my turnoff. It's not this road, it's the next one. And that would be another thing. If I could get a tablet holder, then I could use both the phone holder and the tablet holder. And I could have one running the GPS, so I didn't have to drop you guys every few minutes to go check it out. What are all the praying hands for, honey? Shark Tank, yeah. Shark Tank. For the long distance hiker, the auto taint powderer. My ass. would go and do it. See, this is where the filter comes into play, because normally at this point there is a part of me that feels a need to explain exactly what a taint is in case everybody up there doesn't know. But I'm not going to. Google it. Google it, but don't use Google Images. I love you guys. Shark Tank is a TV show where people go to get funding for their inventions or their business ideas. So when whoever it was commented I should go to Shark Tank, they were talking about so I could get backing for my auto taint powderer. I'd buy the damn thing, I guarantee you that. Motherfucker. Oh, sorry, excuse my language. Motherfuckers. I'm not even walking in the grass. I pulled one off my nose earlier. 2 or 3 off my legs so far today. Candid camera, they would have to have like an R-rated candid camera because I'm sure it's funny as hell. The positions that I put myself in every night, making sure that I don't have ticks in unmentionable spots, which I usually do. I'm just waiting for the symptoms of Mountain Rocky or whatever it is, Smoky Mountain whatever fever, Rocky Mountain fever, or Lyme's disease to kick in. Look at this. These water bottles all over the sides of the roads. I don't know who's losing them out of their car or what joggers are throwing them down, but they're all over the side of the roads. Like the first interview I was doing earlier, I'm sitting there talking to the lady, trying to be, filtered, standing still, and I feel one in my armpit. I'm like, excuse me for a second. I'm about 90% sure there's a tick in my armpit. And she just gives me this look like, it's like, lady, I don't know what to tell you. You want to walk with me for a while? I guarantee you'll pull a tick out of somewhere. Oh, why couldn't these clouds have been here earlier today? Molly, you doing okay? You want to drink water? You want to drink water? Go ahead, honey. Go ahead, get you a drink. Get you a drink of water. Good girl. I look over and water is just like dripping off of her face. I think she drinks a lot more water than I do because, You know, they have to cool themselves off through their tongue. So they're, you know, drooling a lot and evaporating off of their tongue a lot. I had no idea her tongue was as big as it is. When she was a puppy, she had like this real long, skinny tongue. And now it's just like this big, like, fleshy blob that hangs out of her mouth. She's a good girl. Molly's a good girl. I try to give her pep talks, which consist of, Molly's a good girl. As she gets all hyper for a second and walks a little faster. If I praise her, I think it helps her with her mood a little. And I do think that she gets into bad moods. Or at least gets tired. What is it, Molly? What'd you see over there? See the good girl? Nope. We don't pick up roadkill. "25 viewers watching the fat guy walk down the side of the road talking about his taint." That is awesome. So, just in case some of you guys are new, which I don't think any of you are, I'm walking coast to coast for veteran suicide awareness and combat PTSD. A hawk is flying in front of me right now with something in its claws. That is awesome. Let me see if I can flip it around in time. Right there. Of course, it just looks like an ordinary bird on the screen, but that was cool. Yeah, so I'm walking across America for veteran suicide awareness. Trying to do as many interviews and other things as I can to bring about change. Get those numbers down a little bit. 22 veterans commit suicide every day. It's unacceptable. It's like 10 times as many people actually die in combat, especially right now. It's not that it's not as bad over there as it was a few years back. Okay, this is my turn. So I gotta get up here and do some quick shuffling across the freeway. Interstate, or whatever you want to call it. So, I was at the store, I went to the pharmacy. You know, you get bewildered by all the frickin' choices. I hate all the choices. That's why I like to shop at convenience stores. I'd rather pay twice as much for the same thing in a convenience store and not have to make as many choices. So, I went to the pharmacy and I asked the lady, I said, I'm walking across America. Boom, 20-minute conversation. Didn't even get to my question. Well, for a long time anyway. Finally she was like, well, what can I do for you? And this was, you know, after we talked about the 22 and what I'm doing, where I started, where I'm going, where I sleep at night. What do I eat? Is there anybody doing it with me? All of the same questions I get all day, every day. It's a good problem to have, I know, but it gets tiresome. So I just asked her, I said, because of my walking, all day, every day. My biggest issue is chafing. What can I use? And she's like, cornstarch, baby powder, Z-Zorb, everything I already have. I said, all right. Well, the powders help quite a bit. They tend to postpone the inevitable burn. But what kind of product should I use when it already burns? When it's already there, and I have to. What the heck? I have to keep walking or heal for a day before I walk. She was like, oh, probably baby rash ointment. And there's one called Baby Butts. So I got Baby Butts. And I guess it's like multiple things. Antifungal to make sure that no kind of fungal infection sets in, like crotch rot or anything like that. Jock itch. And then it's got an antibiotic cream in it, and it's got something in it that turns to like a gel when introduced to moisture, so it's slippery. So we'll see how that is tonight. It's starting to get dark. No, there's no such thing as TMI. You're watching my journey. You're going to get the details. I feel like I don't know if the movie was a flop or not, but there was a movie with Jim Carrey called The Truman Show. Sometimes when I'm doing these walks, I feel very much like The Truman Show. I feel like you guys are watching just in case I'm funny. or just in case I get into a fight with somebody or get hit by a car. I guess I should put the powder up, right? It's been sitting here. I was talking to the Four Corners guy, Eli, and he said because of the way his cart is shaped, he keeps getting mistaken for a guy that sells ice cream. One quick check. I'll be right back. 1.5 miles. Whoa! No shoulder. Mile and a half. The sun's over the edge of the horizon. There appears to be a large lake next to me. See, this is one of those moments when I would totally accept a ride if somebody pulled up and said, "Hey, you want to ride?" Oh, damn it. You're like, "Yeah, I'll take a ride if you won't mind a baby powder butt print in your seat." Hey, there's some good news. Papa John's delivers out here. Dude, what are you doing? totally swerved toward me. Oh yeah, that is a large lake. I hope these guys don't want too much proof that I'm disabled. You guys want to see the lake? Quick view of it. See, big lake. I don't know what it's called. I don't care. It's called Sore Feet Lake. It's called Red Hot Taint Lake. It's called Big Lake I don't give a crap about because my feet hurt so bad. Molly, please. Molly! Loses her mind if there's another dog around. Perfectly good dog all day long. Loses her frickin' gourd when another dog even shows itself. Sorry guys, I'm not walking tomorrow. I'll go live, but I really don't think I'm going to be in condition to walk. And the thing that sucks about this is it's 1.5 miles up here. To get to the campground. Tomorrow morning I gotta walk the same 1.5 miles back out to that main road. Keep walking toward Chattanooga. Let me address something very near and dear to my heart for a second. Two-piece bathing suits. Okay? Two-piece bathing suits are made for a certain type of woman. Now, I'm not going to infringe on rights here. Jesus Christ!